Hello, I'm David Venny, and I sell my own designs of dance shoes to dancers around the world from my website www.vidadance.com. Today I'm going to show you my new ladies practice shoe, and then I'll tell you about my men's dance shoes and how I came to start Vidadance. First off, I should say you won't find these designs being sold by other brands or on stalls that tour around dance events. I work with a very good factory in Portugal who make these shoes exclusively for me. I check the quality of every pair myself, and I send all orders out straight away from stock that I keep here. That's near Glastonbury in England, close to the headquarters of the shoe company Clarks, where I worked for 25 years. Most of my business is done online now, and a lot comes through recommendations and repeat orders. People appreciate the quality and comfort of these shoes as well as the service I give. There's never any problem if you want to send shoes back unworn for exchange or refund. So, this is E for ladies, which comes in the stone colour you can see on the left and in black on the right. If I tell you about how Eve developed, I'll cover the design features that make it particularly suitable for tango. Of course, it's still good for other dancers too. What happened is that a lot of my tango partners saw how many guys were wearing Vidadance men's shoes, and they asked me why I wasn't making comfortable dance shoes for ladies. So I took up the challenge and started talking to them about ladies' dance shoes, and found they had quite a lot to say. And what I saw is a big selection of dressy open sandals, but no good practice shoes for classes and weekenders. I was sure I could come up with a better option than dance trainers. Perhaps it was a bit hopeful, but the first thing I tried was a ladies' version of one of my men's designs. But that didn't go down very well, simply because it wasn't pretty enough. So then I knew I had to start from scratch. After that, I came up with a much more feminine design with this pretty flower pattern on the vamp. And I tested that in this flat version and also with the Cuban heel. And the feedback I got was this Cuban heel pivots well, and it's easy to get the heel down onto the floor. Whereas there wasn't really much interest in the flats, because ladies told me they either dance up on their toes all the time, which needs really good balance, or they need to stretch to get their heels down, but that can be hard. So it was an easy decision to go for the heel, and a nice bonus is that ladies who lead and follow can wear this for both roles without needing to change shoes. I also heard a lot about the need for plenty of padding under the front part of the foot, because there's so much pressure here on a small area. My early prototypes weren't cushioned enough, but the footbed in the final shoe does the job. It has a good depth of a techie material like you find in sports shoes, with zillions of tiny air bubbles inside, and with these extra dimples underneath. It's nice and squidgy. And because the footbed is removable, you can always change it for a fresh one, or if you have another type that you personally prefer. So, what else? The smooth leather sole pivots really well, and the shoe is very flexible. I've wrapped soft leather around the front part of the foot, and the back part is leather lined to make sure there aren't any places that might rub. I've spent a lot of time tweaking the shape of the last and the pattern as I tested out prototypes on ladies with different foot shapes to make sure this accommodates a good range. Each pair comes with a shoe bag and these pretty ribbon laces, as well as a spare pair of regular shoelaces. There's lots more information and pictures on the website, including some ideas for changing the laces for different colours yourself. And of course you can order the shoes there too. As well as all the testing I've done, I've now sold enough shoes in person and danced with ladies wearing these shoes to know they definitely work. Now for men's. The style Adam at the front is more sporty, and is currently available in this stone colour with brown laces, in brown with contrast stitching, and in black. Adam's very versatile, and I've seen all these colours worn with very casual clothing right the way through to smart suits. But if you do want something dressier, then I have Ben with a plain front available in black only. Everything else about this is the same as Adam. The background to these shoes is that I danced a lot of modern jive, salsa and tango, but I could never find any dance shoes I liked. The best pair I had were some high street shoes I bought from a clothing chain that looked good, had a smooth sole for dancing, and lots of guys used to come up and ask where I'd got them from. Then I was lucky enough to retire early from Clarks, and when I was getting close to leaving, people kept asking me what I was going to do with all my spare time. And then the next time I went to a dance and someone asked about the shoes I was wearing, the two things together gave me the nudge I needed to set up Vida Dance. I'd always worked in a big company, and I thought it would be fun to have my own small business where I could do lots of things myself and not sit through meetings. So I worked with a good factory I knew to build some of the ideas from my original high street shoe into my ideal dance shoe. This is a moccasin construction which wraps soft leather all the way around the foot, which is very comfortable. A lot of slippers you'll find are moccasins. The split sole is very flexible and it pivots really well on this proper leather sole and is nice and stable with the heel down. There's a cushion layer here in the heel and a comfort footbed inside with full leather linings. It took a long time working through prototypes to get to the final design I wanted, and then I just had to take the plunge by ordering 500 pairs to see how it would work out. That's still quite a small order for my supplier, but a big deal for me. I danced in the shoes myself and asked guys what they thought of them, but I hadn't actually sold any at that point. When my stock arrived, I've started off by taking some to a few dance events to sell, and it went amazingly well. The shoes almost sold themselves, which is handy because I'm not really much of a salesman. Basically, they look nice, they're comfortable, they're great to dance in, and though they're not cheap, they are good value for these materials and quality. And all my prices include postage. There are no hidden extras. So now I've had several more productions run made, and I'm selling virtually everything online to dancers all around the world. At the last count, I'd sent shoes to 39 different countries for many different dances, including tango, jive, salsa, balboa, west coast swing, and lots of guys have bought several pairs. I travel a bit for tango, and it's lovely to dance somewhere new and see people I don't know wearing my shoes. There's plenty more information and pictures on my website, www.vidadance.com, which I built myself, by the way, and of course you can order there too. Thanks for watching.